Let's do it. Hi, I'm Matt,
Hi, I'm John.
and today we're continuing our series chronicling our journey on MindGPT. So just to remind everybody, with MindGPT, we're building a large language model to answer questions about mental health. And today we're talking about data version control, right, John?
Yeah.
So I guess we start with, why do we need data version control?
Yeah. So in all machine learning use cases, you need data. That data that you're using might change over time. You want to be able to reproduce the experiments that you're running, and you want, provenance of your data. You want to understand where your data's come from. And data version control helps you with that. It creates versions of data, and then you can know which data is going into where.
So you'll know which data was used to produce a certain version of the model. That's the general idea.
Exactly. Yeah. You can trace back from the model output all the way to the data.
Of course, in MindGPT's case, we're not training a model as such, are we? We're using in-context learning. So with in-context learning, we're taking the data and building an embedding, and we use that embedding to pass a context over to the model. And we've got a blog on this. So in our case, how are we using data version control for the large language model?
So data version control basically dictates it's a central source of truth for all of our data. So when we scrape data, we put a new version into version control. When we're cleaning and preparing, we're pulling it from version control and writing it to version control. And then when we're ready to actually build those embeddings for the in-context learning, we pull that clean data, build the embeddings, and attach the data version tag as metadata to the embeddings. And then when we're actually doing the in-context learning, we can pull a specific version of that data to be able to, so to speak, train the model.
Sure, and as a consequence, when the model answers a question, we can attribute that to the specific version of the data which we scraped ultimately from the source material.
Exactly. So one of the key things that we want with MindGPT is this openness of data. We want to know, based on the output of the model, exactly what version of data was used to generate that model. So we can track it all the way through our pipelines right to the point of the raw data, and we can feed that information back to the user if they wanted that.
Okay, now the things you've talked about that we've done for MindGPT, are they generalizable? Do they apply to all use cases that look like this?
Yeah, exactly. It does. So data version control, as I said, is really important for reproducibility. It applies to most machine learning projects. And as a result of that, we've actually implemented it into our Matcher tool, which is our provisioning infrastructure tool. So now, as part of that default stack, you get the ability to version your data as part of your training and your machine learning pipeline.
And that's been released in Matcher last week?
Yeah, last week. It was released last week.
Awesome. Okay, thanks, John. And if you want to read our full blog on data version control in large language models, we'll provide the link with the video. For now, thanks as always for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye.
It's a wrap.
Sorted.
Well, I've completely lost my train of thought now. Let's start again.
Yeah.